Today, from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, it's Week 13 of the NFL on EA Sports. Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
The return is Duvernay. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Time to see this wide-open Baltimore offense go to work, and leading them, pretty darn good one, Lamar Jackson out of Louisville.
And it would be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterbacks shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. Defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Calling no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. From the gun, Jackson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. Now it's Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now fourth down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Steelers here ready to go to work for the first time. And the grizzled vet, Ben Roethlisberger, bringing him out now in his 18th season in the National Football League.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 19 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
And well liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we got to have better yards for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
Still second down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now it's Roethlisberger. Short little throw to Ebron. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
So, Charles, defensively here, you're going up against a veteran quarterback. He's got a lot of know-how, a ton of savvy, but guy who's not the most mobile of quarterbacks. What's the plan of attack?
You spend all week pumping up your defensive front. Your defensive tackles, your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys who go after the quarterback the most, because you know that he's not going to run and beat you consistently throughout the game. You can rush more aggressively off the edge and even up the middle, because even if he evades you, he's not going to go very far. You have a lot more confidence going after him in the pocket.
Fielded at about the 28. There he goes, left side. And he takes it all the way, but there is laundry on the field. A flag is down, and I think this one's coming back.
I agree.
And that hold goes to wipe away a big return.
And I know from the outside in, you think, why are you holding? Just make sure you don't grab anyone. But you want to keep people away from your return guy. And sometimes those sudden moves, that speed, you reach out and inadvertently do something, and the penalty flag comes out.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play there on the catch and run.
That was awfully nice. Hit him in stride, and off he went. It was almost like the ball hitting him was like him receiving a baton, and he was running the anchor leg in a relay race.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 22 carries, 83 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now. Number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. That's Andrews. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
So 1st and goal now from the 7-yard line. They'll run with Dobbins, and he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going to play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive 7 plays in length, and it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Harris starts the drive on the ground. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Roethlisberger's throw complete to Freiermuth. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Meanwhile, Ben's throw complete there to Johnson. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And Harris is not going to get there. Great work defensively to stop him short. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They're going for it. This is Harris.
Well, that's a very good run there by Najee Harris, who can take it inside. He can get to the perimeter. He can do it all with his build and his speed. This is a guy coming out of Alabama who did everything for the Crimson Tide. That's why Pittsburgh took him in the 1st round. Last in the league in rushing as a team.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Calais Campbell, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Calais Campbell make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
35 yards that time on the punt, and the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
This defense for the Steelers, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Throwing quickly, that's caught by Brown out wide. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 40.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll run on 1st down. Dobbins. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. But he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Open space inside the 10. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His 5th touchdown now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
First down, and they go back to Harris. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Roethlisberger. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Well, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble, and the Ravens have got it. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. 40 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Roethlisberger. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
Roethlisberger now to throw on third down. It's brought in by Harris. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll bring up fourth down. Boswell's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He's thrown for a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown, so they have to count for a guy that can do a little bit of both.
And because of that, that puts a defense back on its heels. Because normally you just think, okay, he's going to throw the ball. Let's tee off, put a little extra pressure on him. But when he's able to either escape or run with the ball and design plays, that really changes what you try and do on defense.
Yeah, you certainly can't forget about the arm, that's for sure.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. That's just why I don't play in points per reception fantasy leagues.
Is that what they call
receiver
PPR?
still gets a point there. Yeah.
No.
And you went that far back. No bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play that time through the air. 38 yards.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
On first down, Dobbins, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
From the 35 on second down, Jackson looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Andrews. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Jackson, draw play to Dobbins. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 47 yards on the ground for him so far.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Second down, ball on the 3. First down marker at the 1-yard line. Here's a give to Dobbins. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. The offense on third down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Patrick Ricard, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On the give, this is Harris. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Over the middle, that's caught by Claypool. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
He finds his target, Ebron. Get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big connection on that one, 34 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Ben's throw complete there to Smith-Schuster. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
He gets it complete to Harris. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Eric Ebron. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. The thing that they'll be looking at is the spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. What a stand this would be if they can get the stop here. 3rd and goal. They'll try and run with Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. A 10-point drive that time. And it was the rookie, Najee Harris, who finished it off with a touchdown run. On the return is Duvernay. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. As the offense takes the field, we zero in on Lamar Jackson. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Oh, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burch, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Forced out to his left. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards.
Now that certainly solidifies how to attack this 2-minute drill right before the half. I don't think they were going to try and run out the clock, but now after that big play, their thoughts are certainly of trying to score and get some points before the half.
Eluding the pressure right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson being chased out left. But I think the ball's out. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. 2nd time he's fumbled in this game. Fortunate for him, this one goes out of bounds.
And the key for him now is how much equity have you built up with your coaching staff? How much equity have you built up with your team to continue to get opportunities? Fortunate that one went out of bounds, saved him from a turnover.
Open man is Bateman. It's complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Steps away to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. Open man Watkins. Touchdown, Baltimore. Sammy Watkins in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens would extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on first down. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where it was the Bengals who were able to pick up the victory at home. Joe Burrow, sharp in the victory as his guys double up their record to 8-4 on the year. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And they have the lead over the visiting Washington football team. A touchdown pass there for Derek Carr. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. The rookie Trevor Lawrence has a touchdown pass. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns, and he has run for another. As for the call of the second half, we turn things back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. And the Steeler offense ready to get going here in this third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Roethlisberger will throw. That's swung out wide to Harris. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fielded at the 20. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. John Harbaugh never shy about bringing out the red challenge flag, and he'll do so here. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Now here's the call.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that a good call by John Harbaugh and tossing out that red flag. They'll run on 1st down. Dobbins. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Second and 7. Jackson. Dancing to his left. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. Forced out to his left. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. They'll run. It's Dobbins. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Jackson now. Being chased out left. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. Pretty solid game. Gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. In lieu of the sneak on 4th and inches, they just say, give it to the big man in the backfield.
Yeah, fullback no less. Not many of those left in the NFL, but for those that have one, perfect time to use them. Perfect time to get it done.
They go play action with Jackson. He'll buy some time right. And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Tucker now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Then he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Calais Campbell in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
And now we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks. And they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A big connection on that one. 34 yards.
Frankly, I don't know that this defense knows what to do anymore. Just look at their body language out there. The passing game has absolutely been relentless throughout.
On 1st down, Dobbins. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's Jackson to throw. Steps away to his left. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete.
They certainly had...
Good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And their lead will swell up to 28. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. On 2nd and 11 now. Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Now Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he's brought down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. They hand this off to Harris. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Now we'll look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. To the right side to Eric Ebron. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A give to Harris. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Harris. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
On 3rd and 1, it's Roethlisberger. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And now here come the Ravens. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time on the catch and run.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Going to get to the line and run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 85 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Floating one, incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They got to get to the 23 here on third. Now it's Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll run on first down. Dobbins, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw is Jackson. This is complete to Watkins on a slant. And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Dobbins. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
And they'll try to pound it in with Ricard. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Patrick Ricard. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Tucker with the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And his throw is incomplete. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Roethlisberger. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Now, defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape.
Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Buying time to his left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Dancing to his left. Taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
Edwards will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. To throw again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. Goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Tyus Bowser able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And notice you used the word sparked, because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. It got his man complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34.
And
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. Able to hit his target, Claypool. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll wind up losing about a dozen on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Well, that play really didn't fool them. They completed the screen pass, but for lost yardage, a really nice play by the defense.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's Roethlisberger. Open man, completes it to Claypool. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th. And Boswell's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. In the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because There are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. He finds his man, complete. That's Harris. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Roethlisberger's throw there, hauled in by Claypool. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now it's Roethlisberger. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. That is caught by Smith-Schuster. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Harris. And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Now Roethlisberger. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Here's Roethlisberger. Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. And the Ravens come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Baltimore, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.